We finally did it. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Matt, and this is Devlog 35 of my game, The Feathered Serpent. Why am I saying it so weird? So it is proven to be very difficult for me to find time to work on the game and make the devlog. But I do have some really fun stuff to show off to all of you. And before we do, let me quickly announce the winners. Also, hello, Windows. That was my Windows, not yours, I promise. All right, let's spin the wheel. Spin. Who is going to win a copy of the game beta? Oh, what's up, Julie Bean? Congratulations. I need to do something that I haven't done in a long time. Nice. I finally have it set up again. Okay, I'm ready. Welcome to the new title screen. So this is a work in progress title screen. Not sure if it's going to stay or stick, but I do really freaking like it. The title might have to be a bit bigger, but I don't want it to cover up any of the amazing artwork that we see here. Now, we're just going to jump into this. All right, so the first thing we're going to take a look at here is my new and improved way of telling the player what items do. So when people beta tested my game, pretty much the majority of the feedback I got was that people didn't know what items are doing. And even though it's fun to get items, if you don't really know what it does, it can be a little frustrating. So I have included a new system that alerts you. It'll say what the item is and a brief description of what it did. So for example, if I pick up the bow, left click to shoot, right click to burst. Very simple, and it just teaches you how to use, for example, the bow. If I pick up the bone heart, plus 1 HP. Oh yeah, I did have an HP over here. Interesting. If I come back over here in my little secret area, we'll show 2 more examples. Here's Runic Slash, plus 2 attack speed. You see it reflected right there. If I pick up Sharp Axe, plus 2 damage. So now there's a lot. It's a visual sort of notification that lets you know what happened and what the item did. And then it feels a lot more satisfying when you see that item. Now, a big thing that I still want to add in is green numbers that indicate a change over here, very similar to the Binding of Isaac. So if I got plus 2 damage, a little plus 2 green number would appear right here, and it would fade in and fade out. But for the time being, this is a much better system, and I'm much happier with how it is working. Hopefully it will make the game much more enjoyable and playable. Moving on, let me show off one of the new enemies. He is a kind of a reskin of an enemy we're all very familiar with, the tribal sword dude. So you can see here he has a very similar animation, but this now lizard dinosaur looking dude has complete and full animations. And I completely reworked the code, so it's a lot better. So as you see here, he jumps. He also falls. He's affected by gravity. He won't get stuck on stuff. He doesn't just patrol back and forth, and he moves towards the player instead of just mindlessly walking back and forth. So it definitely feels like a real living entity. You see here, he'll jump up, he'll attack me, he'll scale the stairs perfectly, and this is by far the most advanced AI I've ever made, much better than the Velociraptor, for example, because he will not, get stuck. You can see there, even though he walked down in a little 1x1, he's not getting stuck. He can jump up and out of it, which is that's a huge improvement. Just for the enemies that I've made. And yeah, I just think the way he flows is really good. I'm super proud of just how smooth it feels and how, he really feels like an enemy's coming to get you. I also really like how it fits more in theme with my game. One thing that I was really struggling with is, my game was kind of getting out of control. I was having snowmen. I was putting in, my dude was killing like tribal dudes, and my dude's supposedly a resurrected tribal guy. So there's a lot of things that weren't really making sense with the story, and I thought, you know what? I can make this enemy cooler. I can make him look cooler, and it's way more fun to be fighting a dinosaur lizard person with a sword than it is just a regular old tribal dude. So I will be getting rid of those enemies and keeping this enemy. And let me go ahead and show you the death animation. Ooh, there you go. Nice and gory. Just how I like. So yeah, that is part of the reasons that I changed the enemy. I wanted the AI to be better and not be so stupid. And I also wanted it to fit more in theme with my game. So a big thing for me, as you can see here in the game art, is that I want the game to be fun. And considering the large majority of people never make it past the first area, which I'm assuming that if you buy the game, you'll play a lot of it. But, you know, I want you to have a fun first area instead of killing, you know, monkeys and little green alien walkers. Like, let's throw in some of these other dudes. So I wanted to create these guys. You can see here, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but I wanted to create these lizard people, and I wanted you to fight them, just how it's represented in the game art. So I think the reskin or the new enemy that I've made, it's not really a reskin considering I completely reprogrammed it, but it is a familiar looking enemy. I just think it's a lot cooler if it is more in theme with the game. So looking at the second enemy that I've remade, also, you don't normally pick up upgrades back to back that fast like that. So here's the other enemy, also should look familiar. He's a spear dude. He'll just be standing there, not really doing much. When he sees me, he'll start walking towards me. When he gets close enough, he will throw spears at me, just like that. And if I'm too far away, he'll walk towards me. This guy's over here still throwing spears at me. If I get too close to him, he'll actually stab me, so I can't get up in his face anymore. So he kind of has a different move set, completely different, you know, textures. He does walk around now. He's a little less aggressive, obviously. He is ranged. That was the death animation right there. As you see here, he'll stop on the edge. He's not going to chase you down ledges or anything. This enemy definitely prefers to wait at a distance and throw spears at you. If I go around him, he'll hopefully start walking towards me. Maybe not. Oh no, maybe it's more bugged than I thought. But ideally, he would start walking towards me. We'll go and kill him. So yeah, that is the second type of enemy that will now be in the first area. Very simple, but very fun. I think it takes about 3 or 4 shots to kill that enemy. And also very quickly, I want to show off how the new enemies interact with the sword's knockback because it is much better. So now they actually get a little pushback. They don't just hold still. Also, in the brief second when I transitioned, I actually fixed the code. He no longer gets stuck on the edge. Very simple, easy fix. I'm glad I caught it though. Ouch. See, working as intended. Another thing I did is the sword previously would always have knockback no matter what. Now you only, for the player, so the player, when he hits something, it would push him backwards. That will only happen now if it is above an enemy, which I thought was a pretty cool thing to code. So now there's no weird interactions of me hitting something underneath and bouncing off of a boss underneath him, only when I'm on top of something. So shout out to Critch for suggesting that fix. And the last thing I want to talk about in this devlog is my change in direction or theme. So when I was looking at my game, particularly people playing my game, let's just look at the enemies of the first area, okay? So you had monkeys, you had this weird 2-legged plant biter thing. So I totally drew on him. You had these flying, dinosaur pterodactyl looking things. You had this thing. It's another flying enemy. And then occasionally in the first area you would run into this little dinosaur and this little mini baby dinosaur. That was it. And the thing is, when I look at these enemies, I don't see like a coherent thing. I guess I see dinosaurs here maybe. Even then, these kind of don't feel like dinosaurs. I might honestly redo just the sprites of these so they look more dinosaur-y, if that's even a thing. But yeah, for example, like this enemy here, a great example that I can show you is this. So previously, the Stegosaurus used to look like this. And that just looks freaking weird. It's like a iguanodon or something. So when I look at this enemy particularly, there's nothing wrong with it. Even then, it's not super bad. I might not even change it. But it doesn't give off the same vibe as a dinosaur like this. Like, this definitely looks very different from this. And I would argue that this Stegosaurus is much, much better. Fits more in theme with a dinosaur. So I think giving a more dinosaur look to my enemies is a good thing. I also think that requiring the player to kill monkeys and weird two-legged walking, whatever this thing is, it's called mini plant enemy. You can't read it, it's off screen, but that's what it's called. It just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, narrative-wise or gameplay-wise. Like, these aren't even fun things to really kill. They're not exciting enemies. So I'm putting these two new enemies I just showed you, the spear thrower and the sword lizard, into the first area so that you encounter, first off, more exciting enemies in the first area so the game feels more fun, but also a more thematically, present area. I'm not killing monkeys anymore. I'm killing actual dudes who are running after me with swords and with spears. Now, that being said, I am removing some enemies. So this mini plant enemy is going to be taken out of the first area. I did rework the code for the blue flyer, just barely tweaked it, nothing too huge. And I was thinking I'd keep monkeys in the game, but more as like an Easter egg. So you'll be going through an area and you might see a monkey. And you can just skip the monkey. You don't even have to kill the monkey. But if you happen to shoot the monkey, he'll freak out at you and throw, rocks or poop at you or whatever. So that seems a lot more fun to me than making it like an actual legit enemy. Just something that's sitting there, you can walk past it or not, and he's just more kind of there as a fun little thing. So the first area will now... Oh, and here's another example. Like, instead of this little green walking dude, what if I made it the same? I could literally make the same enemy, but instead just make it a little green dinosaur. And wouldn't that be so much more fun to, fight and shoot than this? I mean, I personally think so. I could be wrong, but that's just how I feel. So with that being said, I'm hoping in the first area to get a definitive theme of dinosaurs and dinosaur people. So we'll have these people, we'll have these dinosaurs showing up, and we'll have these flying enemies. And a very occasional monkey. And just to answer two other questions really quick, it's not to say that this enemy is bad at all. In fact, I could probably still use this enemy, and I could probably still use it in a different area, like maybe underground in some lava caves. I can just do this version of the enemy. Maybe I can do this version and just keep it in there. But I don't want to clog up my game with too many enemies, but I do like the color scheme of this one a lot more than this. So, and maybe this is one that's in the jungle. Like, there's still ways I can use these sprites. It's just I want it to... Maybe the jungle is a more wild place, but the starting area, let's have it be fun, and let's have it have these fun-looking enemies you get to fight. And the last question I'll address is, no, these enemies are not replacing this enemy. So this sword enemy, where is he? This sword enemy is not a replacement for this dinosaur enemy. This dinosaur enemy is still very much alive. It is still very much a thing, and it is still going to be an enemy in the game. Obviously, later on, he's going to have way more HP, even looks way bigger. In fact, let's just very quickly... look at how small that dude is compared to that guy. So don't worry about that. We're still going to have... I'm still going to put in, fun stuff, like keeping these cool enemies. But for now, that's how the first area is looking. So I'm just going to keep myself in this box because I like my artwork over here. Did I do it in the right direction? I didn't. Over here. So, yeah. I'm still currently trying to get a working build. I have to go into all my previously made levels, and I have to fix the screen regions. And obviously, I've just been playing around a lot with the new enemies and trying to do away with old stuff. Also, fixing all the power-ups. There's still a lot that I haven't written in things for. But this is the update to the game. Sorry if you were expecting more. I am still trying to aim at my release date, but it is proving to be very stressful and difficult. As soon as I get a working build out, I will send it out to Julie Bean, the winner of last week. If you want to win a copy of a beta version of the game, leave a comment on this video. telling me what you think about really anything. I think this is us coming to an end here. So I'm just going to shout out my Patreon supporters. I really appreciate these people. Even though the large majority of them are only donating $1, which you can also just support me for as little as $1. And these people are awesome. They help fund the game. And even though it's a small amount of money, it's definitely more the thought than anything. So huge thank you to Avent Avgard, Tomaso, Haley Critchfield, Ethan Critchfield, and Aldo Chipana. All of you are awesome, and you're the reason that my game has this dope artwork. I'm serious. I took the money from the Patreon and I put it to this. So I don't know how many times I've said that, but I'll keep saying it till the day I die. Thank you all for watching the video. Thank you all for coming along this journey. One thing I did this past week, just a little end to end on a good note here, is I went through every video. I found every comment of a suggestion or a change or advice or something to put in my game, and anything that I hadn't already implemented that I thought was a good idea, because honestly, most of the ideas are really good. I wrote down pages of this stuff, of me writing down, all these comments. I'm putting them in the game, and basically the whole point of telling you that was going back and looking at all my old videos. It was super humbling and super cool to see some of the people who still comment and watch to this day, still coming back and commenting. So huge thank you. That was really awesome to see, and I felt really humbled and really touched by that. Not to say that I don't appreciate all of the new subscribers, which, hey, thank you, all you new subscribers. But it definitely was cool to see some of those older people, and honestly, some of them, who disappeared. I don't know where they're at right now, but they watched for a couple months, and then maybe life got busy, or maybe the fact that this is now approaching a year of development kind of got too much for them. But I hope you all are doing well. Thank you all for watching any of my videos and for any part of the journey. I hope I can make a game that's fun for everyone to play, and I'll see you guys next week, hopefully with a lot more to show off. I say that every time too. All right. See ya. Peace.